With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Now the rookie first-rounder from San Diego State, it's Rashad Penny. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Now Wilson on 1st down. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They go play action now. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Over the middle, complete. It's Morgan. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He may try and run for this. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the 19. And now Cousins choosing to back away from the line and signal for a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Cousins on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play fake. Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On first down, Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A handoff to Penny. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Oh, what a move. And now running right through it. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They keep it with Penny on first down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Throwing is Wilson. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. The Seahawks send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now out comes Minnesota. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
On second down, Cook. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Handoff comes to Cook. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now it's Lockett. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now Wilson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with that, they're now out of timeouts, and still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. Penny, a 1st down carry. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's a give to Penny. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, baby, yeah. Four down. 14. Check 50, check 50.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. After the penalty, it's Penny. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved. And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen. The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. They'll come out in the pistol.
14. Check 51.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Rolling to his right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Shotgun.
He can run for it, and he will. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start the drive with Cook. And nice yardage right off the bat here as he's up to about the 24-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
A give. This is Cook. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They just do get the playoff. Now Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Hey, we talked about Adam Thielen a little bit last year, didn't we? Possession receiver, makes some tough catches, gets it done, and he's a homeboy. Grew up very close to the Twin Cities.
And showing those possession receiver skills right there to pick up the first. Cousins now to throw on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. After the interception, here's Wilson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Linval Joseph in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So we come upon halftime. 6-3 is our score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Cousins now on second down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Cousins now. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Ryan Quigley now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Lockett. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for second down.
One play at a time, guys. Let's go. 14, 14.
Watch 20, check 20.
Nine. 380. 380.
They go play action with Wilson. David Perry coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And a quick throw here. That's complete. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Yeah, he was looking for the checkout bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
is Cook as they begin on the ground. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. To throw it is Cousins. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. 23 yards on the play.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. First down, here's the run with Cook. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. Again, it's Cook. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. This is brought in at the 21. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Seahawks on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
A first down throw for Cousins. And he's going to go down in the end zone. Cousins taken down for the safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. They find some open field here. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. They'll run it again with Penny. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Wilson. And running with power here. It's caught. Lockett. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy.
You got 4. Don't take too long.
And they run with a backup. This is Thomas Rawls. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Penny. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Four down. Tight. 380. Shotgun. Let's go 14. There.
On second down, Wilson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches.
380. Got it. Tempo.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now Rashad Penny. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. He's going to get it running right. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They only need a field goal. Obviously the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Malik McDowell in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair. Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot. So for the Seahawks, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.